need and so urgently deserve.
Kenny MacAskill.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I will happily support this motion. All efforts to ensure Scottish sovereignty and indeed ensure Scotland's independence deserve to be backed. But I fear that this likelihood of seeking salvation through Westminster procedures is as likely to be as forlorn as the debacle in the United Kingdom Supreme Court. The reference there, especially without even having the authority of a bill having been supported by the Scottish Parliament, was supreme folly, compounded by its advocacy by a Lord Advocate who had all the passion and appetite for it as someone eating a bowl of cold sick. But the overreach in the dictum, by all means.
Mr Deputy Speaker, as the honourable gentleman noticed, that since the supreme folly, as he described it, of going to the Supreme Court, the polls have rocketed in the direction of pro-independence support across Scotland. If that's failure, I don't know what success looks like.
I very much welcome the increase in the polls, as I'll come on to. But what we have to do is to find a route and a method to get there. And so far, the courts have ruled out, and indeed it looks like the political options, certainly here, are limited. But the overreach in the dictum that Scotland was neither a colony nor indeed had resorted to violence was both absurd and perverse in the Supreme Court judgment, which is why a route for Scottish independence needs set out, but a route must neither be subject to a UK court nor beholden to a UK Parliament. Legally, historically, politically, the people of Scotland are sovereign, not a UK court or a UK Parliament. That has been part of our constitutional history, as other members have mentioned. It was sent out to me as a law student by Lord Justice Cooper's judgment, and that was passed on. It was the accepted wisdom, and even politically, it was the accepted position of even unionist opponents of independence, that the Scottish people could achieve independence if they voted for it. But that is being denied. So what is to be done when not if, but when, this procedural wheeze fails to deliver independence, as indeed the procedural wheeze of referring the matter to the UK Supreme Court failed to deliver the referendum? Well, it's about taking back sovereignty to the Scottish people. On Saturday, as well as attending a political meeting in the afternoon, I went to a concert of the Proclaimers in Edinburgh on the Saturday night. The crowd fair enjoyed the song Cap in Hand. We fight when they ask us. We boast, then we cower. We beg for a piece of what's already ours. As support for independence rises, as the thermometers and temperatures plummet, as energy costs soar in energy-rich Scotland and people go hungry and go cold, that absurdity must end. Now is the time that Mr Nicholson might be wished to be aware of. No more cap in hand. So what is to be done? Well, first of all, we can endorse our historical claim of right, as Canon Kenyon Wright said. Some may say no, but we are the people, if I paraphrase, and we say yes. So I hope that SNP members will sign my colleague Neil Hanvey's St Andrew's Day Declaration, EDM 633. I all hope that they will support an independent...
Just gently remind, no mention of members' Christian or surnames. Please refer to them by their constituencies.
Mr Deputy Speaker, the Independence Convention requires to be supported. It's necessary for two reasons: to bring together the democratically elected representatives of Scotland, our MPs and MSPs. It's required, first of all, to rebut that it's not the UK Supreme Court that is sovereign, it's the democratically elected representatives of the people of Scotland. And secondly, to drive home, when this motion fails and is defeated tonight, that it's not this Parliament, but the elected representatives of the people of Scotland who are the voice, democratically elected, of the people of Scotland. So I hope that members in the SNP benches will support the call for an independence convention. After all, it was a call made and supported by the First Minister in February 2020. We're now approaching 3 years on. It's time that convention was delivered. Thirdly, they should support the call for a plebiscite election, one that could be triggered next October and deliver us our referendum, the no ifs, no buts referendum that we were promised by members on the SNP benches. That can be achieved by collapsing the Scottish Parliament. A member of the SNP has already set out a way there. That could be done and could deliver the referendum that the people of Scotland were promised by the First Minister and others that would happen in October of next year. That must be done. And finally, support must be given to all demonstrations, all international legal actions, all actions peaceful and democratic, to drive forward the position that the people of Scotland are not prepared to supinely accept diktat either from a UK Supreme Court or from a Tory government unelected by the people of Scotland since 1955. The need is great. The time is now. I'll support this motion, but questions need to be answered by the members in the SNP. When it is defeated, when will you actually stand up and take powers back for the people of Scotland and ensure that it's Scottish sovereignty, Scottish democracy that rules, not the diktat of a Tory government further impoverishing the people of Scotland?
Patrick Grady.
Thank you, Mr Deputy